I have a fever. I'm sorry, even though you invited me.
No, if you're not feeling well, it can't be helped. Please take care of yourself.
Even if you had a fever, you should have dragged yourself there, you useless idiot. You're fired. Would you like to use this? I'm Fumito Sugishita, 26 years old. I work in the sales department of Fan Gardening, a company that manufactures gardening supplies. Today, I was invited by my best friend from high school to go to a bar. That's when I noticed a woman sitting next to me looked like she was about to cry.
Thank you very much. Then I'll take you up on your offer.
I handed her a pocket tissue, thinking that would be the end of our interaction. But...
Please, I really want to talk to you again, Sugishita.
Huh? Before I knew it, this woman started telling me her worries, and the next thing I knew, she was asking me out on a date. I had no idea what was happening, and while I stood there in shock... What's this? I go to the bathroom for a second, and now things have gotten interesting. Nobunaga! What should I do? My best friend, Nobunaga Kuto, had come back, and I immediately turned to him for help. Huh? That's for you to decide. Personally, I think going on one date wouldn't hurt. But... Come on, aren't you usually the type to go along with invitations? When did you get so hesitant? But she's an heiress! There is no way someone like me is a good match for her! Right, this woman, Hitomi Momose, is apparently the daughter of the CEO of Pesh, a major home improvement store. I've always been a gloomy guy with no hobbies outside of indoor gardening, so the idea of dating someone like her made me hesitate. By the way, since Fumito was in the gardening club in high school, wouldn't a date spot related to plants be good? Wait, Nobunaga?
Then how about we rent out a botanical garden and have a private date for just the two of you?
At least let's do something normal.
Then, does that mean you'll go on a date with me?
Ugh, cute. Like Nobunaga said, I'm not the type to actively make plans myself, but I rarely turn down invitations. So, when Hitomi looked at me with such expectant eyes, I naturally found myself nodding. Alright, can we go to a botanical garden I like? And so, I ended up going on a date with Hitomi, but... Hey, I heard about it, Sugishita. You're going on a date with the daughter of a major home improvement company, huh? Apparently, the president of Fan Gardening, Naine Sensu, saw what happened at the bar. He's the nephew of the previous president. When the previous president suddenly passed away a few months ago, Naine somehow took over the company. It seems there were still unresolved inheritance issues, and to make matters worse, this new president has serious personality problems. A gloomy guy like you, how the hell did you manage to win over a rich girl like that? It just happened while I was listening to her problems, that's all. Heh, whatever. I don't know what kind of hobby she has, but it looks like she took a liking to you. Then use this chance to suck up to her and get her products into that home improvement store. Wait, I can't mix my personal life with work like that. Oh, are you defying me? I'm the one who's keeping a gloomy guy like you employed. You're probably useless in sales anyway, right? Then at least contribute to my company in whatever way you can. Huh, but it's not like he'll know what we talked about during the date. I can just brush it off. If I avoid discussing work, I should be able to get through this somehow. That's what I thought, but the following week... I have a fever. I'm sorry, even though you invited me.
No, if you're not feeling well, it can't be helped. Please take care of yourself.
On the day of our date, I came down with a high fever and ended up bedridden. Naturally, our date was cancelled, but... You canceled the date? What the hell are you doing? When I was pressed for answers, I honestly explained what happened. That only made Naine even angrier. Even if you had a fever, you should have dragged yourself there, you useless idiot. You're fired. Is that so? Thank you for everything. I did feel attached to my coworkers, who treated both Fan Gardening's products and a gloomy guy like me with respect, but I had no reason to stay under this precedent. So while thinking about my next job, I walked away from the company.
Still, I never expected to work with you again, Sugishita.
A few months later, I found myself face to face with Hitomi in a Pesh conference room. I had joined Honest Gardening, another gardening supply company, and they happened to be a supplier for Pesh. I didn't expect you to be the person in charge either. I look forward to working with you. By the way, I never told her why I left my previous job. If she found out, she would probably feel guilty for inviting me on that date.
Sugishita, your knowledge is impressive. Your proposals, backed by thorough market research, are amazing. I'm really glad you're the one handling this.
No, it's just that I love this field. I was in the gardening club in high school, so I've been familiar with it for a long time.
That dedication and the way you put your heart into what you love is truly wonderful.
As I looked back at her smile, I suddenly remember the first time we met.
Actually, I often get caught up in trouble.
Back then, I was just a gloomy guy with no real advice to give outside of gardening. Yet, somehow, we had gone on multiple dates since then, and her attitude toward me hadn't changed. I don't mean to sound rude, but did we meet before that night at the bar?
No, I think that was our first meeting. If I had talked to someone as wonderful as you before, I definitely remember.
Hearing her say that so confidently made me feel awkward. So it really was just that night at the bar that made her interested in me. I had no other clues, and the mystery only deepened. That's obvious, man. It's 'cause you're a good guy. A few days later, I consulted Nobunaga, and he looked at me like I had just asked the dumbest question in the world. Think about it. Back in high school, you were the only one who didn't judge me. You've got guts that normal guys don't. Huh, but to me, it always seemed weird that people were afraid of or mad at you. Nobunaga was a short-tempered delinquent who didn't fit in at school. When he felt out of place, he would sometimes retreat to the empty flower beds and talk to me while I was gardening. Another fight? Not my fault. They threw the first punch. All I did was tell them to stop messing with a stray cat. Oh, then for that cat, you must be a hero. You're the only one who said such embarrassing things to me. Really? But when I hear your stories, it makes me think you have a strong sense of justice. You actually believe what I say? Yeah. I've never seen you start a fight yourself, so I have no reason to doubt you. I only believe in what I've seen and heard with my own eyes and ears. I see. Thanks, Sugishita. Back then, I was constantly misunderstood by those around me. I gave up on a lot of things and even ran away from my own life. But because you believed in me, I started to think that maybe I could face myself. The reason I can live properly now is all thanks to you, Fumito. Thinking back, I realized my way of life is pretty optimistic. But if it helped Nobunaga, then maybe I can take a little pride in how I think. Well, not fitting into school doesn't mean you're a failure as a person. Just like how not all plants grow the same way with just water and fertilizer, people also need different approaches to thrive. That's why I believe there was a way for you to find a place where you belong. But in the end, you're the one who figured that out. I just listened. I didn't really do much. Your only flaw is your low self-esteem. Right now, I feel like debating just how great you actually are, but instead, that bastard Sensu. Who the hell does he think he is, calling you useless? He was the real deadweight in the company. Wait, calm down, Nobunaga! Maybe I should drag him out and hang him in front of the company building. And then, I'll slap a paper crown on his head just for fun. Stop! This isn't some medieval battle for the throne! You'll get arrested! It's fine. You've already helped me plenty, Nobunaga. As I struggled to stop him from going on a rampage, I slightly regretted bringing up my wrongful termination. Well, if you say so, I won't push it. But if anything happens, come to me. Yeah, thanks, Nobunaga. A month later, I visited Pesh again, but something seemed off about Momose. Please take care of yourself.
Thank you. Actually, I've been a little sleep-deprived lately.
I thought so. Then let's keep today's meeting brief.
No! My time with you is valuable, Sugashita. Just talking with you will help recharge my energy.
A few weeks later, I can't believe that bastard's company actually went under. News of Fan Gardening's bankruptcy reached us. I figured it would happen eventually, but I didn't think it would be this fast. After work, Nobunaga and I were talking about it as we walked home together. Found you, Sugishita. What are you doing here? He had been waiting for me near my house. This is your fault, if it weren't for you. Please stop. If you really think about it, this was your own doing. Shut up! A gloomy loser like you has no right to talk back to me. Oh my. If you continue insulting my best friend, I won't stay quiet. Damn it! If you hadn't sued me for wrongful termination, you even got yourself a damn lawyer. That's right. Nobunaga became a lawyer, and I consulted him about my wrongful termination right after I left the company. Apparently, I had inspired him to become a lawyer by calling him justice-minded back in the day. We merely exercised your rightful claim for damages. I heard that by the time you fired Sugishita, your company was already struggling. After I was fired, word spread, and other employees started quitting one after another.
Do you even realize how much Sugashita contributed to this company? No one wants to work under someone who would throw him out over such petty reasons.
They tried hiring replacements, but they couldn't train them fast enough, and the company's performance plummeted. Still, if you hadn't sued, I could have turned things around. Because of you, rumors spread in the industry, and more contracts got cancelled. Well, that's hardly surprising. Forcing employees to seduce clients to secure deals, then firing them if they refused? At least now you understand how your actions are perceived objectively. Gah. Are we done here? If so, we'll be going. Wait! Pardon me, you got too close, so my old instinct slipped out. Is there anything else you need? No, Under Nobunaga's piercing gaze, Sensu fell silent. Then, suddenly, he collapsed to the ground and pressed his forehead to the pavement. Sugishita, I sincerely apologize for everything I've done. I have no job now, and if this continues, I won't be able to pay off my debts. So please, can you help me get hired at Honest Gardening? That's... Even if you bow your head, I can't help you. I don't have that kind of authority. Can't you do something? My uncle gave you a job despite you being practically useless. Shouldn't you repay that debt by helping me now? If that's how you think, then I really have nothing to say to you. After all this, why does he think I would help him? As I sighed and prepared to leave with Nobunaga...
Oh my, Sensu! What are you doing here?
How are you here? Under the moonlight, Momose arrived with an air of composure, making Sensu freeze in terror.
Obviously, I rushed over because I was worried about Sugashita. I knew your hostility would turn towards him eventually.
A few weeks ago, Momose warned me. And after consulting Nobunaga, he started accompanying me to and from work.
Sugashita has been assigned the Momose family security detail, so everything you just did was completely monitored.
Wait, I never heard about this, Momose.
Of course not. I kept it a secret from you too. You know the saying, deceive your allies first to fool your enemies.
That doesn't seem quite right.
Well, enough joking around. Sensu, I already warned you, didn't I? If you so much as approached Sugashita, I wouldn't let it slide. And yet, what exactly is this situation supposed to be? I thought I had thoroughly disciplined you for your previous stalking behavior, but it seems you still haven't learned your lesson.
Turns out, Momose had been losing sleep because she had been dealing with Sensu. Apparently, when fan gardening's business started declining, Sensu persistently pursued her. Don't you think I'm far more attractive than someone like Sugishita? Why don't we go on a date together? He had no genuine interest in her. He just wanted to use her connection to Pesh. But as word of his shallow scheme spread throughout the industry, Momose also learned how I had been forced out of my job. As a result, his company's decline became irreversible.
Your plan to get our store to stock your products without making any effort to improve them was absurd enough. But claiming you're more attractive than Sugashita? That was beyond ridiculous. You don't even know what I love about him, do you? So how could you possibly assume you're better than him? It's honestly baffling. Sugashita saved me that day.
Because of her family background, she's always been surrounded by people trying to win her favor. It made it hard for her to trust in genuine friendships or love, and she struggled with that for a long time.
On top of that, men I didn't even like would constantly fawn over me, while women resented me behind my back. Whenever I talked about these struggles, people would dismiss them as a spoiled rich girl's problems. Yes, I know I've been fortunate. I know there are people who suffer more than I do. That's why I kept wondering if I even had the right to be troubled by something like this. But then...
That's not true. Only you can understand your own pain. It's absurd to let others decide how much you should suffer. You need to face your own pain instead of looking away. If you don't, one day, it will completely break you.
That day, when I first met Sugashita, his words made me realize how much I had been wearing myself down without noticing. He didn't care about my status. He simply acknowledged my pain with kindness. That's why I fell in love with him. From the start, you only approached me for personal gain, knowing I was the president's daughter. You never had a chance. You dismissed a talented employee like Sugashita as useless, proving you have no business acumen whatsoever. And instead of taking responsibility for your failures, you tried to blame him? That's nothing but pathetic resentment. Your downfall is entirely your own doing. Until you accept that, your life will never improve. Then again, considering how you completely ignored my last warning and came here anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if you keep spiraling downhill from here.
No! What more do you want from me?
Well, that's up to you. But if you'd like, I can personally ensure your downfall.
No, not at all! Since then, he has been drowning in debt and barely scraping by.
No money, no food. Someone, please help me.
Maybe some unseen force is working against him, but he hasn't been able to land a decent job. He's stuck living day to day, just trying to survive. He learned the hard way. Some people should never be crossed.
Now that I've told you my true feelings, what do you think, Sugashita?
That day, after our encounter with Sensu, Momose hesitantly asked me that question.
I've tried to become someone worthy of standing beside you. But since you rarely share your struggles, I always feel like I can't quite catch up to you.
No, I should apologize. I've always been optimistic, so I don't intend to dwell on my worries. But after everything that happened, I realized how much you cared about me. Knowing that made me happy, and at the same time, I realized that I love you. I might not be someone truly worthy of your position, but I'll keep working hard, both professionally and personally, so that one day I can proudly stand beside you. Hitomi Momose, will you go out with me?
Yes! I'll do my best to grow into someone who can fully support you.
You can't judge people based on appearances or titles alone. Happiness and suffering, only the person living it can truly understand them.
Oh, Sugashita, look at these flowers. They're beautiful.
Ah, those are azaleas. Their flower meaning is, even if we can't fully understand someone's pain, we can still help them. With the right mindset, this world can become a happier place for everyone.
Hello! I love that final message. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!